Am I the idiot for bailing on a trip with my mother because she invited my uncle without telling me? To give a little bit of context, since I'm 18, me and my mom make a vacation trip that happens every year and it's sort of our little tradition. I left her house when I was 22, but we stayed in touch and kept a very good relationship. We still travel every year and it became even more special now, because we don't get to stay together as much as we used to, so we use this time to be together. 2 years ago, two of my father's aunts asked where we were going on vacation that year and they would tag along, because our trips looked like fun. We are caught by surprise, but my mother gives them the whole itinerary. They end up tagging with us the whole trip and being a nuisance, asking me to carry things around. They don't speak English and don't even try, so they order me around so I get stuff done for them. It was the worst experience, but eventually ended and we joked that we would never have other people come along. Last year, my uncle, her brother, asked if he could travel with us on our next vacation. Because it looked fun, yeah, you know where this is going. This time it was worse, we got individual rooms. But this time, I had to share the room with my uncle so he could save some money. I live alone, so I'm not used to sharing a house with someone, even worse a room. Same communication issues and some personality ones. They end up fighting from time to time. Siblings, you know right. By the end of the trip I told my mother that it's okay if she wants to travel with whoever she wants, but I'm not up to it and would pass next time. This year we are planning a cruise trip and some time in Europe. On Thursday she told me she had paid her part on the travel agency, and I could send them the money to cover my part. When I talked to them, they asked if I'm an aunt or an aunt's uncle. My mother had invited my uncle to travel with us again. After knowing that, I said that something came up and would call another day to finish the payment. Today I called my mother and told her that I'm not paying and won't travel this year because I don't want to repeat the same experience from last year. She started crying, saying he invited himself again, and she couldn't say no, but this time would be different. Because in the cruise each one can do whatever they want. Am I the idiot for not wanting to waste my vacation? The only time of the year I'm off work and can enjoy doing things that I like or just relax. Traveling with someone I dislike, and I feel even worse because she didn't even told me. I found out because the agency guy asked me who I were. Update. I saw that some PPL got confused and said things about the mother-daughter relationship. I'm a dude. I don't know if that invalidates the point of my original post, but I can assure you that my mother-son relationship is very important to me, as much as if I was a girl lol. So yeah, sharing a room with my uncle isn't creepy, just annoying. Update. Had dinner with my mother yesterday and we straightened things out. Good thing I had therapy a day before so I was bulletproof to her manipulation. I told her, yet again, how I was feeling neglected and that she overstepped the boundaries I had made. She was really sorry, but both of them already paid and couldn't cancel without losing a considerable sum of money. I told her to enjoy her trip and good luck in the trips to come because I wouldn't tag along anymore, as long as uncle was part of it. Again, she cried a lot and suggested that we have another trip in July, just the two of us. That's what I wanted, right? Well, as soon as I listened to the proposal, I didn't quite want to accept it. I'm still feeling betrayed, and more so, the trip that we planned and was preparing for almost 4 months wouldn't be the same. She will go with my uncle and I have to settle for another destination. I didn't say no yet. I'm not that stubborn and really like to travel with her. It's just I still got that bad taste in my mouth, but didn't want to act recklessly. I'm very inclined to travel with her in July. I will just sit on this though for a while. Unfortunately, I can't wait too long, otherwise prices will skyrocket. Thanks for all the feedback and kind words. Hope this shows my relatives that they can't push me around and infiltrate my well-earned vacation. Not the idiot. I would be careful about future plans. You said she's manipulative. She might do it again but won't tell you until after you pay the next time. I would buy travel insurance for next time in case you need to cancel at the last minute. If your mom can't say no, most likely she'll blame you with her siblings. She'll tell them it's your fault and the siblings might tell your mom just not to tell you until the trip starts or until you have already paid. Good luck. Not the idiot. Is it possible for her to pay for your part of the trip in July and you pay her back when the trip is over and no aunts or uncles make an appearance? Sort of like a deposit. And if she breaks her promise, she loses her deposit. It might make her more inclined to stick to your plans and your bonding time. Although, if the bonding time were so important as to make her cry when you cancel, you'd think that alone would be enough motivation for her to put her foot down. Do you think his mom is a manipulator? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I an idiot for not inviting my cousin to my wedding? I'm female 23, and I'm getting married this May to my long-term boyfriend of male 27. We've been waiting to get married for about a year since we've been saving up our finances to move out, and now is the perfect time to start the process of getting married. I'm very excited. We have told our intermediate families so far and they are all ecstatic for us and support us 100%. However, there is just one problem. I have a Aussie female 25 who has bullied me my entire life. I do not want said cousin at my wedding. Growing up, she made my life a living hell. She never missed a chance to make fun of me and she used to physically bully me as well. I remember times she would make up scenarios and would tell me people from school called me ugly, fat and a slut just to make me upset and feel insecure about myself. At one point she even admitted she was jealous of me. These days I feel like we're only civil because our moms are very close. Her mom is my mom's sister. This piece helps our family stick together and there have been no major incidents since then. To this day, she still makes snide remarks or backhanded comments to me. I've come to realize that putting up with that toxic behavior is unhealthy and this is my wedding day. I deserve to feel happy. I decided that I don't want to invite her to something that is supposed to be one of the happiest days of my life. She doesn't deserve to be a part of my happiness. I told my mother this and she was upset. She thinks if I invite my aunt's family and exclude said cousin, my aunt will be very upset and it will cause a whole family fight. My mom also said it will trigger her anxieties and make her feel uncomfortable at my own wedding. I told her if my aunt doesn't want to come because my cousin is uninvited, I would have no hard feelings towards her, and I completely understand. This wasn't enough for my mom, and she was still upset at my response. She doesn't think it's worth not inviting my cousin for one day and that it would cause a lifetime of conflict. My fiancé thinks I'm in the right, and he personally doesn't want her at the wedding because of how she treated me in the past. He said it's our day and we can choose who we want at our wedding. I still feel like I might be the a-hole for potentially causing drama just because of not wanting to invite my cousin. So Reddit, am I an idiot? Update. My fiancé and I decided to just have a basic elopement. No celebration, no after dinner, nothing. We might go on a honeymoon afterwards. We aren't sure where to go, but I'm sure it'll be fun with no drama. We also decided to postpone the date of our elopement for a later date. As of the conversation with my mother, a couple days after I posted the original Reddit post, I talked to my mother. I told her I am not having my cousin at my wedding or any future important events of mine. I don't care that she will be upset. It's my day and I say who goes and who doesn't. After I told her, she just sat there in silence. When I mentioned everything my cousin did to me in the past and told her that she did nothing about it, she got defensive. She said she tried everything that she could, but I really don't believe that. A couple days ago I went on a hike with my father. My parents are divorced, and I told him the situation briefly. He decided to give me the full rundown about my mother's family, which was a very long conversation. He did not hold back. To no surprise, my father said throughout the marriage with my mother, she always chose her siblings and her mother over my father and her children. There were no boundaries on my mother's side. Everyone was in everyone's business. He told me about the bullying I received from my cousin from his perspective. For a long story short, my cousin was a horrible child. He told me it's not worth arguing with my mother about these things because she is delusional and she will always take the side of her siblings instead of her children. I'm going to keep my distance from my family and keep working hard to save my money so I can move out of my mother's house. I understand now that I cannot be around my mother's side of the family at all. It would be a very unhealthy environment for my future children and husband. I don't want to make the same mistakes my mother made. I want to be the best role model my family could have, not the idiot. Good for you. No one needs this kind of toxicity in their life. You have to make your choices just as your mom made hers. You are going to be off to a much better start in your married life, removing those who don't really care about you from your personal universe. I hope you have a lovely wedding and a nice honeymoon. Not the idiot. I know someone who got eloped. They picked a spot, got dressed up, the bride had a bouquet, and they hired a photographer and efficient. The photos of her walking out from behind the trees, it was set in a forest, was beyond beautiful. They then had their own time afterwards. Yes, the family was upset, but the couple was happy. Now, for the next story. Am I an idiot for not bringing supplies to my friend anymore? I, male 19, have known my best buddy, male 19, since we were babies. We grew up next door, went to the same school together in our tiny town, went into the same sport and became rivals. I'm not proud to admit it, but once we were in high school I became a real jerk to him and said some awful things. Mostly because he was better at the sport than me and I was insecure. He ended up leaving town after graduation and no one knew where he was. I don't think it's all because of me, but yeah, I might have been part of the reason. He cut contact with everyone including his mom. He was missing for months and everyone was worried. I really wanted to apologize to him, but no one could reach him. Then some kid from town was out exploring and spotted him living in a rundown house on a mountainside about 2 hours from town. I was super happy to hear he was okay. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I went up the mountain to visit him. He was surprised to see me, but he was also very happy. We caught up and I finally got a chance to apologize to him. It was like old times and we rekindle our friendship even better than before. When I first visited, I saw he didn't really have much to eat or drink up there, so I started making a trip to bring him supplies every other month. It's close by, but hard to get up there. There's no road to drive up there, so I have to walk for a few hours. But it's been a year now and I'm getting kind of tired of it. His mom cries about missing him all the time. She can't make the trip up. I missed a month because I got sick and then had to make up work days. He was kind of annoyed about it and snapped at me because he was running low on supplies, but I'm getting annoyed that he insists on living up there. I told him he's hurting his other friends and family by keeping his reclusive life and he needs to stop being so selfish and come back to society. It was hurting me that he wasn't taking care of himself. He looks like crap and I always worry about what shape he'll be in when I arrive next. I also told him I was getting sick of going up a mountain every 2 months. He told me he didn't ask me to and I was the one who volunteered to do it. I told him fine. I would stop because I didn't want to enable him to keep living away from everyone, and I haven't been back up the mountain since. I feel really bad. Everyone in town is telling me I should resume bringing him supplies and the gifts they make for him because everyone knows when my trip is coming up. He's kind of a local hero from our sports days. They're saying I'm being a jerk, but I just want him to come back or at least move to somewhere more hospitable, and I feel like if I continue bringing him stuff he won't. Small update. I went to celebrate NY with some of my friends. I'm trying to convince them to do a group visit with me in a few weeks. I told them the only way I'd go back up again is if some of them came with me. I didn't really want to go again, but I will if other people are with me. I'm hoping that if they go once they'll take the initiative and start visiting by themselves too. Or better yet, we can all convince him to come down. They seem vaguely open to it, but I'm not sure if it's we want to do this or just humoring me to shut me up. Big update. I did end up going back up the mountain with my friends. But like I said, I didn't bring supplies. We all tried to talk him into coming down, but he refused. I was pretty disheartened, but he made his choice and so had I. I told him I wouldn't be back, but if he ever wanted to come down, my door was always open to him. About a month later, I was surprised when there was a knock on my door and I opened it and it was him. He was so thin and dirty, but seeing him off the mountain made me happy. I got him cleaned up and now he's staying with me. I was a bit surprised that he didn't want to go home to his mom, but he told me I was the only one who made an effort to be there for him when he was acting unreasonable and that he wanted to stay with me if that was okay. So yeah, he's living with me now and who knows what the future holds. Edit. Thanks for all the comments. I see a lot of you are concerned that I'm not going to be able to set boundaries with him, or that he's going to mooch off of me. You don't have to worry. My grandpa set me up with a really good job at the local gym in our town and I'm making good money and living by myself. I have enough to support the both of us for now and really I don't mind him staying indefinitely. Giving him a safe space to recover is all I want for him right now and we can worry about the rest later. We got him set up with a therapist online that will be seeing him twice a week and I'm hoping it will help him. I may be a little over my head when it comes to mental health issues. I don't know how to help him myself and I don't know when to ask him questions or when to back off. I don't want to make things worse and I'm a bit scared to talk to him about the past. But hopefully the therapist can help him. I also urged him to call his mom. He claimed he will sometime this week. Not the idiot. It's nice he is off the mountain, but now you have to worry that you will have to take care of him forever. You need to set some personal boundaries and make sure you are comfortable with him living with you. Everyone sucks here. So your friend ran away about a year ago and squatted in an abandoned house and then quickly relied on you to provide him with supplies as he had no other means of survival. And now he's living with you. I don't foresee this going well at all.